I want to remind you that we are about to lose a year. It's finished. It's gone. And I want to leave a few thoughts with you and also give you a few thoughts to go forward. I want to speak to you for a few minutes on redeeming time. I want to focus on the 10 keys to maximizing and redeeming time. Please write this statement down. It may be a good place to start. That is, the most common gift that God ever gave any human is time. And when I use the word common, I'm referring to the fact that all humans on earth, the only thing that we are given that is common to everyone is time. All of us are different heights, different weights, different colors, pigmentation, different economic strata, different families, different ethnic backgrounds. We are from different cultures. But one thing we all have in common, and I'm talking about 7.2 billion people on earth, have the same common commodity, and that's time. Why is that so important? That is, what you are and what you become depends on how you use your time. You and I have the same amount of time. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours every day. The old and the young, the black and the white, the Indian and the Asian are all given the same amount of time every day. Time cannot be stopped. You cannot stop a day. You cannot stop an hour. They have no respect for you. But you can control how it will be used. Which means that even though time is unstoppable, it is controllable. And what you do with it determines who you become. I think about time a lot because time is life. And every time a year passes, you are basically measuring time. Because a year is the passing of time in our cultures. And an opportunity to redefine your priorities is why New Year's come. Let me ask you to make a note of a couple of suggestions I want to make. First of all, a new year is an opportunity to refine your purpose, to go back and check it. Secondly, a new year is an opportunity to redefine your life's vision, to see if you are still on course or if you need to adjust. Thirdly, a new year is an opportunity to reestablish worthwhile goals. And I use the term worthwhile because some of our goals may not be worth pursuing anymore. And fourthly, a new year is an opportunity for you to bury the past and move into a new future. In other words, time is a blessing or a curse depending on how you manage it. A couple of things about time. Time is life. If I ask you, how old are you? What I'm asking you is, what is your life? And you would say, my life is 80 years old, or 30 years old, or 15. We measure life in terms of time. We define life by time. Life is measured by time because life is determined by what we do with time. Life is lived out in time. Life is qualified by time. Life is also the passing of time. What have you become is totally dependent on how you use time. Life is also stopped by time. When you die, time stops. When you die, you move out of time into what they call eternity. In other words, God created time, but he doesn't live in it. He designed time to make life easier for us. God created time to give a piece of eternity a measure, and he put us in it. And God created time for us to live in it so that we could experience relief from eternity. If you lived in eternity, it's a tough place to live. I used to wonder why God told Adam, don't touch the tree of life. And when Adam sinned, the first thing God did was kicked him out of the garden, and he put a flaming sword with cherubim, and the Bible says to protect the tree of life. If Adam had gotten to that tree after he had sinned, we would be without hope. Because if you make a mistake in eternity, it's an eternal mistake. I thank God for time. Time is a relief. Time is good news. Look at Genesis 1:14. It tells you when God created time. It says, and God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark what? Seasons and days and years. What's the purpose for time? I found this interesting. First of all, time was given to us to take us out of eternity. Secondly, time was given us to protect us from forever. If you had a pain in your back in eternity, it would be an eternal pain. Thank God for time. Time has a beginning and an end. Time was given to us to live life in doses. Time was given to us to measure the purpose of our life, why we live. I thank God for time. I like this one, Psalm 90 verse 12. Read out loud, go. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. In other words, let me know how long and how much I have to do so I can use my days effectively. I like this one, Ecclesiastes 8 verse 6. Read out loud, go. For there is a proper time and a procedure for every matter under heaven. This is a deep one here. In other words, there's a proper way and time to do everything. In other words, whatever happened in the past separates you from the future. That's how good time is. Whatever you've been through in 2013, you can now say it was last year. Isn't that good? Tell your neighbor, I was broke last year. Say it, I used to be sick. That was yesterday. Health is on the way. Time separates your past from your present and your future. You won't be a divorcee all your life. Time will prove that. You won't hurt with grief all your life from the death of your family. Time will deal with that. You won't be sitting around because that man didn't marry you. There's another man on the way with a fantastic life, with plenty more money than the one you was trying to get. Make a note of this one, please, and this is very important. Time is the only commodity on earth given equally to every human being. Time is therefore the only commodity every human possesses. We don't possess the same amount of money. We possess the same amount of time. So the key to life is what you become in life is determined by how you use the time you have, and that's why we use terms like spending time. Time is a currency. Every human has the same amount every day, and time, like currency, must be spent. And here's the problem. Time is used to buy life. So whatever you are, you spend your time buying it. Even if you're broke, you use your time to become broke. You see, time determines everything. If your marriage is under stress, it's because you haven't used your time in your marriage properly. Time is so powerful that whatever you invest your time in, you become. You got one new year about to start. My question is, what you going to do with the next 12 months? What are you going to look like? What are you going to have or not have? There are some people in your life you need to drop. In other words, time gives you time to change relationships. I put it to you, friends, that you can actually treat time just like money. Write this down. You can have time stolen. How many of you sat with people for 2 hours? When you was finished, you wasn't sure what happened. I mean, 2 hours of your life gone, and they talk to you, and you gained nothing. The older I get, the less time I have to just listen to talk. I don't know about you, but you ain't old enough yet. There's a certain period in your life where you realize, I ain't got time for this. People just kind of wander into your life. Let's talk. Talk about what? Write this down. Time can be what? Abused. Time can also be lost. You can lose it, just like money. Time can be squandered, just like money. You can spend an entire day. Have you ever said this? I don't know where the day gone. Why? You squandered it. It didn't take you closer to your goals, didn't take you closer to your vision, didn't accomplish the things you wanted, and you spent it and squandered it on stuff that didn't count. Time is more important than money. That's why the businessman say time is money. Time can be depreciated just like money. Time can also be devalued. Every hour is important. My question is, what are you spending it on? You can reduce the value of your life by the things you spend your time with, who you spend your time with, where you spend your time all day. You can devalue your time. Can I suggest this? The time can also be revalued. You can actually increase the value of your time by choosing what you do with it. I learned years ago, if you broke and I broke, you was bad company. You complain, I complain, and we just one big complaining party. Somebody got to get out of here. You ain't going nowhere, I ain't going nowhere. We end up nowhere, I'm out of here. You can revalue your time by just adjusting your relationships. The books you read. I mean, I've seen people read them love novel books. A love novel book don't take you to your goals. You know, Sam kissed Susan, and they went for a cruise along the river. Listen, man, you broke. You need another book. Go dump some books when you go home tonight. Not one of my books is a waste of time, because I use my time to produce those books, and they're valuable because I use my time to give my time value. People spend all kind of money on magazines, and you still got problems. Time. You can become a victim of time. Write this down, please. You can never stop time. Time doesn't adjust for you or nothing. You can never slow time down. You can never speed up time. Until death, you are stuck in time. You are victims. And therefore, all you have to do to make time your friend is to manage it. What do you do with time? Write this down. First of all, you can manage it. Secondly, you can use it. Thirdly, you can invest it. Fourthly, you can convert it. In other words, you can use time to develop and build and construct things. You can turn your life into value by the way you use your time. You can use time to fulfill your divine purpose. Time itself is given to you as a gift from God. And so Ephesians 5 says, wherefore, stay awake. Wake up, wake up, wake up. That's what the verse says. What? Wake up. Why? Because you can live your whole life sleeping. Read the rest of the verse. Read it. Awake thou who sleepest, and arise from the dead. Even Christ himself wants to shine upon you. Verse 15. Look therefore carefully at how you walk, not as unwise, but as what? Wise. And then he says what? Redeem the time, because the days are full of evil. Redeem the time. I was doing this with my life for the last 40 years, maximizing every minute of my life. I started when I was a teenager. When my friends were playing marbles, I was reading the Bible. When my friends were looking for a girlfriend, I was writing songs. So don't get jealous of me. I use my time differently.